Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the casting news that we got about Avengers Doomsday, and Wrigley's going to just breathe into my ear while we do that and give me some love. Yeah, hi. Say hi to everybody. She loves the X-Men. She loves my shirt, or my hoodie. Okay. Goodbye. Thank you. Okay, guys, so we're going to take a look at this trailer that they released. It's about 1 minute and 47 seconds. I'm just going to have it playing in the background for you guys because it's not really like super substantial. It's just pretty much the casting chairs for all of the actors that are going to be the main parts of this movie. And I say that because I do think that there is going to be some room for more characters as well. You know, we got like 24 or 25, 26 people here in this video that they show alone. And Doomsday is going to be huge. Like, that's what they're telling us. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a big deal. So with that being said, I can really see, you know, a couple additions coming in. You know, I know they said Elizabeth Olsen's not in this movie, but they could be lying. I don't see how Scarlet Witch isn't a part of this. Same with like a Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I know there's this this rumor right now with Tom Holland that there's Spider-Man 4 is coming, and they're thinking that Spider-Man 4, the rumor is that Spider-Man 4 is going to be pretty much taking place at the same time as Doomsday, and that's why Tom Holland's Spider-Man is not going to be a part of this movie. But I just don't believe it. I don't see how you can make an Avengers movie right now and not have Spider-Man in it. I just don't see it. But we also have Secret Wars coming, which is going to be the culmination of just every fucking character in the Avengers world that's going to come together and pretty much fight. So that could be what they're saving the major castings for. But as of right now, I'm mostly excited for, I know it's exciting to see all the characters together. I'm excited for Doomsday though. I've always been a big Doom guy. I like the Fantastic Four a lot. And it's kind of cool to see that the Fantastic Four are in this movie. As you can see, you know, you see Pedro Pascal, you see Vanessa Kirby, you know, you're seeing Joseph Quinn, you're seeing all the Fantastic Four. They're clearly going to be here. So make sure you're watching Fantastic Four First Steps. That comes out in July, I think. So don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it's July. We also see that Thor is going to be here. Anthony Mackie is Captain America. Unfortunately, not seeing any Chris Evans, so that could just be a little secret. We got Sebastian Stan. Obviously, we have all of the Thunderbolts. All of the Thunderbolts are here. You know, David Harbour, you know, Florence Pugh. All these people are here, which tells me that we're going to probably need to watch Thunderbolts. I'm personally not super excited for Thunderbolts. I like the tone of the recent trailer they did, but it looks like it's going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy placeholder. Where and I mean that as like, I think it's going to be the new comedy, the new like comic relief characters that are actually badass, you know, the Rebel Suicide Squad type characters that are going to have a lot of implications here. Unfortunately, I don't think the characters matter all that much. I don't think that they're like as big as the Guardians would be in this situation. And I think that's kind of what sucks here is like, I would rather see the Guardians of the Galaxy in this movie than the Thunderbolts. Obviously, haven't seen Thunderbolts yet. It's not out yet. As of time of recording, it's not out yet. And, you know, James Gunn is gone and the Guardians are kind of just done for a while. Either way, we do see Paul Rudd. Ant-Man's going to be here. We also have Shang-Chi is going to be in this as well. So we are seeing some people from the older phases, you know, before and like a little after Endgame. So like phase 4, early phase 4 people. We also had some surprises, which was Kelsey Grammer, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, as well as Alan Cummings as well. These are great to see. I'm really excited to see these people. Obviously, no discredit. We also have Danny Ramirez as Falcon from the new Captain America movie. Winston Duke, obviously. We're gonna have some Wakanda people in here. Did not mean that in any racist way. Just they're from Wakanda. Sorry. Tom Hiddleston is also back. He's going to be Loki, obviously. That's exciting because where Loki left off, there's just a lot more to be seen. So it's gonna be exciting to see what his stance is now that he's, spoiler alert, the Keeper of Time. I don't know if that's the exact like name that he goes by, but you know, he was holding the threads of time pretty much. But I'm very excited to see the X-Men a part of this. That's like my main thing here. And on top of the X-Men, we're also going to be getting Channing Tatum back as well as James Marsden as Cyclops. I would assume that these are the people they're going to be playing. Channing Tatum just kind of really set it for me. I was like, wow, that's badass. We're actually finally going to get Gambit. I'm hoping that's who he's playing. You have to assume he's going to be playing Gambit, just like James Marsden's most likely going to be playing Cyclops. We can assume all the X-Men actors are going to be representing their characters. And also my theory is they're going to probably die off in this movie. They're probably going to kill the 20th Century Fox universe in this one, which if that is the case, I'm like halfway in, halfway out of that theory, because if you're going to kill off this 20th Century Fox X-Men, you gotta have Hugh Jackman. You gotta have, Deadpool there. You gotta have these mainstays. You gotta have Rogue. You gotta have Jean Grey. These people have to be like around to be killed off. Like these are people that like would excite the fans like myself to see them in a movie where they actually get killed off. It'd be heartbreaking, but it would make sense. So maybe they aren't going to be killed off. Maybe they'll be mainstays in the next phase after Doomsday. I'm not completely sure. Obviously, nobody really knows, but I do have a theory that Doomsday is secretly going to be like an X-Men versus Avengers movie, which I know that sounds kind of crazy, but again, if you're going to have that kind of movie, we better have Hugh Jackman. Like Hugh Jackman at the least has to be in this movie. And that makes me feel like maybe him not being here, him and Ryan Reynolds both not being a part of this, maybe that means that it's not an X-Men versus Avengers movie, but I think that would be fun. I've always wanted to see an X-Men versus Avengers movie, especially like the Kevin Feige, Avengers and, the MCU versions going against the 20th Century Fox versions. That'd be really, really cool. I don't know if that's what they'll do, but I could see it. I mean, why not? We also saw the final name on the list here of actors was Robert Downey Jr. We knew he was going to be Doom. Nobody's surprised by that. I mean, they were surprised when it happened, but nobody's surprised that he's going to be in this movie. But when you see him in this trailer, it was like, oh, kind of shocking. Whoa, it's Robert Downey Jr. because he's actually there and in Robert Downey Jr. fashion, leading this next phase and, telling everybody to shut up and then smiling at the casting. Because clearly this, in my opinion, the way he looks in this presentation where he kind of smiles and walks away like a proud dad, it kind of makes me feel like this is going to be where they kill him off, pretty much. Another thing I wanted to point out, speaking of Robert Downey Jr. and Doom, is when they first announced him, when he took the mask off at Comic-Con and, opened his arms wide and, did like the praise me thing. Notice he kind of looked like Tony Stark. Like when we first really encountered Tony Stark, he's showing off his bombs and he's got his arms opened up like a hell diver. And he's just showing the explosion. I feel like this version of Doom, maybe I'm a little late to this, but I feel like this version of Doom is definitely a Tony Stark. I feel like he's Tony Stark turned Doom, and I think that's pretty badass if that's the case. Clearly, we don't know, but I think that would be cool. And I only say that mainly because the way he looks at the casting chairs, almost like a really happy dad that's moving on, he looks like this will be his last one. It just feels like it, doesn't it? It just feels like, okay, we're going to move on from him after this. I don't know who they go on with Doom after this, but maybe Doom dies and like he's just done after this. Who knows? I'm not sure who would play him after Robert Downey Jr. It's kind of weird saying that, but I'm not sure who would play him. I've always wanted Cillian Murphy to play Doom. I just think it would make a lot of sense. He just fits the role to me. Other than that, though, at the end of the credits here, or at the end, all we see is Avengers, all in green, which looks really slick and looks really nice. I always like the color green as like a secondary like trim color. Doomsday now in production, which is fucking awesome. I think I can say that for everybody. I think we're all excited to see the Fantastic Four implemented, the X-Men implemented. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a fun movie. I think what will put this movie down, though, and that's another thing too I wanted to say, is I'm surprised no Charlie Cox. I'm surprised no Daredevil. I'm surprised no Punisher. I'm just kind of surprised. I don't know why. I just am, specifically because Daredevil's kind of a big show right now. So I'm just a little surprised we didn't see them in the casting. But again, this movie doesn't come out for a while, so there could be rewrites on rewrites. I know the MCU is very shock value oriented. So I think Kevin Feige, I think they were under the impression that the Iron Man coming back, to Robert Downey coming back to play Doom was going to be a little bit more praised than it was, because I know a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people thought that it was kind of a nostalgia grab, which in a way it is. And that's honestly what the MCU has been kind of about this pretty much this whole phase, I would say. Like when you start with No Way Home and you look at how like people are kind of criticizing that movie for being a nostalgia grab, and then you look at Deadpool and Wolverine, that was a very nostalgia filled movie. I got no problem with it personally. I loved both those movies, but there are people that are upset that those movies did seem like they were just like one and done fucking nostalgia grabs. And I don't blame them entirely, because yeah, like No Way Home and Deadpool and Wolverine were definitely like full of nostalgia. They were definitely like full of that like early 2000s, just hype to them. So I can understand why people might be upset with it, but also I think people are fucking stupid and they complain about everything. I do think that like just having him back as Doom is a little weird. You know, it's a little out of nowhere, but I think that the MC, like Kevin Feige and them, I don't think the reception was as good as they thought. And I think that they might have had more plans to do, you know, Tony Stark as Doom or Robert Downey as Doom, but I think the reception wasn't as good as they expected probably. And I also think that Robert Downey is gonna just take huge bank from this movie. He's going to be making a fuck ton of money just from this one by itself. So I think this will have to be the last one. If they want to save the budget for all these other actors, I don't know if Robert Downey is going to be able to get paid for the next like 3 fucking phases that they do. So I can see him definitely being just kind of killed off after this one. Now, whatever happens with Doom, I'm not sure, like I said earlier, but I do think that like the Avengers movies are shock value. Like MCU stuff is very shock value where like they present something and if it's cool enough, they keep it going. But if it's like something like, I don't know, I don't want to say like Blade because I'm pretty sure Blade is going to be canceled, but like it seems like Blade got a lot of hype and then it kind of fell off and they stopped caring about developing it is what it kind of felt like. And I'm sure there's plenty of better examples than that. And I'm kind of yapping about it at this point, but I did just want to talk about this a little bit, get everybody's opinion on it. You know, I like talking about the MCU. I like talking about the things that I like talking about, and this is one of them. And I'm excited for this movie. I don't know, you know, like just from the casting, I couldn't say that it's going to be like the greatest thing ever. You know, I don't think it's going to be like on board with Endgame, but we do have Secret Wars coming, and Secret Wars is going to be a culmination of like all of the multiverse, just all out war. So maybe we'll see Spider-Man, you know, maybe we'll see just all these other characters that we kind of wanted to see in this reveal, you know, Hugh Jackman, and maybe even like an Incredible Hulk, like a Mark Ruffalo or something. You know, we're speculating people, but that's kind of the fun in this, is that sometimes they secretly have somebody in the background that we don't know is actually in the movie or not. So that'd be something fun to talk about in the comments, just what characters you'd love to see going forward. Well, all them people, like maybe we'll see them in the next movie, or maybe they're in this movie. Maybe they'll rewrite and they'll add some more cast to it. Maybe they're already planning to have more cast to it. I'm not sure. I'm speculating at this point. Before I go, I also wanted to just show you guys this kind of cool like post that I saw on Twitter or X, whatever. This is just all the casting, all the casts in the movie, just as their respective characters. So you can kind of just get a general understanding of who's going to be in the movie, so you don't have to look up everybody and everything like that. Where I'm sure you know who Paul Rudd is, you know he's Ant-Man, but it's still nice to see just pictures in general. So I thought this was kind of cool, you know, just to give you a general idea. This is a lot of people, you know, this is a lot of cast members, a lot of characters that I hope get to be fleshed out. I'm wondering if this might be like a part 1, part 2 type situation with this movie. I don't see how Secret Wars won't be a part 1, part 2, but I guess we'll see. I'm gonna get out of here though. I wanted to hear from you guys though. Make sure you're commenting down below. I love seeing what you guys think. I want to hear what your guys' opinions on what this movie's how this movie's gonna play out. You know, I'm really interested. But as of right now, you know, this is all we got. This is what we have. We know it's in production, and that's exciting. So make sure you're liking the video. It helps me out a lot. Make sure you're throwing a subscription if you like these kind of videos. Come back around, hang out. You know, we stream Wednesday through Saturday, nighttime mostly, but we're always playing something. We're always talking about stuff, and I love hearing from you guys. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Stay hard.